We're going to be talking about that in years and years and years and years to come, and it's going to be like, where were you?
Mentality monsters is the first thing that came to my mind. You know, I think it's a generational watch, if I'm honest with you, and I'm on board now. That performance makes me believe we can win this.
You threw everything at Tuchel last night. It felt like we had to win that game 3 times, and we did. All credit to Tuchel for that. I don't think we've had an England manager that have made our best players better in a very, very, very long time.
This is Jude Bellingham, and he delivers in the moments. He stands 10 feet tall and he's like, oh, someone needs to get a winner, I'll do that.
He looks like a Marvel character, but he's like Superman. He just sticks a cape on and just does whatever the team needs him to do.
You know, your biggest loser is the altitude.
Yeah,
because
all that hype,
altitude hype, journalists running up and down the road, out of breath.
They're the losers, mate. They're the losers.
Yeah. Even when Mexico was scoring, I was kind of smiling. I was like, yeah, bring. You know when they say put the rent up, we can pay.
Stay humble, man. Stay humble. We want to just coast through this whole tournament. Forget that.
Hello, welcome to the latest edition of Inside England, sponsored by BetMGM. Download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk, 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Please gamble responsibly. I'm Ollie Klink. The Chuckle Brothers are still in Mexico, but we have got a bumper edition of the show for you. Joining me is CJ, Deluded 3 Lions, Jacob Hawley and Matisse. Gents, we've all had about an hour's sleep, but Jacob, thank God for Viagra. What an iconic England performance that
Talking
was.
about England, or do you know about me last night? No, mate, honestly, I think that would be a game where hopefully this tournament goes the way we want it to, but we're going to be talking about that in years and years and years and years to come, and it's going to be like, where were you? Do you know what I mean? How did you do it? And I'm glad I'm on the right side of history that I was in the pub till 5 in the morning.
My mate did a proper Jordan Henson right at the end, just went through a table at the final whistle. Yeah, it was incredible. Matisse, how about you, man? I mean, what a performance. It was iconic, wasn't it?
Yeah, iconic, man. You know when you're literally witnessing history and you can feel it and you've clocked it. The game was just frantic from the get-go, and it's just hectic. And yeah, man, Azteca, all the talk before it, all the build-up, the occasion, and then they go out there and they smash it, and they actually just do their due diligence, they do their homework, and they get the job done. It was proper mature performance.
Yeah, CJ, I mean, 10 men for most of that second half, all that talk before about the altitude, etc. You just wouldn't have thought it at all with the way England performed.
You wouldn't have thought it with the way England performed. Mentality monsters is the first thing that came to my mind. You know, I think it's a generational watch, if I'm honest with you. And me and you have gone back and forth. I've been very pessimistic on England. I'm on board now. That performance makes me believe we can win this.
Oh, it's good to hear, mate. Yeah, figured me out within the first 2 minutes of the show. Let's get into our winners and losers. Great to have you on, mate. Can't wait for Rory to come back. But yeah, let's get into our winners and losers from the game. Jake, I'll start with you on this. Who are you having as your winner?
It's the manager for me. It's the manager. I think from when that squad got announced, I don't want to relitigate it. I think a lot of us had doubts about some of the decisions he's made. But I think you've seen, basically in every game, his in-game management of how he deals with what's happening, the changes that he makes. We've constantly had an impact off the bench. You know, whether it was Dan Burn last night, whether it's been goals off the bench in previous games. I look at Tuchel, and I don't want to go back over the Southgate thing. The worst thing that could happen to a Gareth Southgate team was that he takes the lead. He didn't know what to do if he scored a goal. You threw everything at Tuchel last night, whether it's the injuries before the game, the altitude problems, the things that happen in the game, red card, penalty given away. Each time did the right thing, made us look stronger. It felt like we had to win that game 3 times, and we did. Yeah. And I think that's absolute credit to the manager. And I'm sure someone's going to talk about him in a minute, Jude Bellingham, but I think his man management of Jude Bellingham. You've seen that film Whiplash?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a bit of that. I still haven't seen him praise him publicly. He still hasn't said anything publicly about Jude. All the talk of Morgan Rogers, it's almost like he said to him, you're going to show me who you are, and you're going to show the world who you are, because I reckon you can take it. I reckon I can wind you up and you can take it, and it's going to make you go to the next level. And I honestly, all credit to Tuchel for that. I don't think we've had an England manager that have made our best players better in a very, very, very long time, and he's doing it in this tournament.
And Matisse, it wasn't actually about the reactions, just about the reactions from Tuchel. I thought the whole game plan worked from the first minute, didn't it? Giving Mexico the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's been saying in interviews that don't expect glorious football right now. It's just about getting the results, getting the wins. He's built this team for transitions and counters, and to get the ball forward and to maybe sit in that block. And that's probably the right way to go about it. Because how many times do we say, we want to batter the smaller nations, whether it be in the qualifiers and the group stages, beating Panama 6-0, whatever it was in the previous tournaments. And then when we get up against the big boys, we don't really seemed to be able to come up with a proper plan to actually win the game. I thought his man management was absolutely fantastic. Dan Burn, how much stick has he got for being in this squad? Mate. He's just there just for bants. He's not really going to play any part. Comes on, every single ball that went into that box, you just knew his head was a magnet. The only thing I was thinking was, should have took Maguire.
Oh, man,
Two magnets in there, can you imagine?
Watching Dan Burn was like a proud dad last night. It's unbelievable. CJ, I think that's a good point though about that switch to the back five. And I don't know about you boys, but I was maybe thinking, has he done this a bit early in that state of the game? But again, it was absolutely bang on. And actually, as much as we were watching that and the 11 minutes of added time, as England fans, in the moment, I'm sure all of us were like peak stress. When you really go back, if Mexico had chances, they were half chances. They didn't really have any clear-cut opportunities, the way England defended. And part of that is down to what Tuchel did.
It's everything's down to Tuchel. The one thing I'll give him is he's very methodical. He has no emotion behind it. I'm probably going to go against the grain. I actually think when he went to that back five, I was on it. Like 9 times out of 10, I don't want us to invite pressure. But I think quickly in the second half, Mexico had no ideas. And again, it was a game that lived up to its spectacle, right? But if we're completely honest with ourselves, respectfully, Mexico extremely overrated. They didn't offer anything really. They didn't really move the ball quick enough. Cool, we switched off at a dead ball and they got a penalty. But other than that, we were superb. And we said literally come and break us down. And as much as about tactics with Tuchel, psychological, you know, a lot of players who came off the bench, whether it be Spence, whether it be Dan Burn, we was criticising their inclusion. Every player had their moment and stood up to be counted. I was here slagging off Anthony Gordon. He's put in 2 good games in a row. Last night he started. I can't say Jude Bellingham's not man of the match, but Anthony Gordon played out of his skin. So all like Spence as well, we dug him out in the last show. So I've just got to give him his flowers, man. I've got to give them all their flowers. Tuchel, keep it going.
Keep digging them out, boys.
He's
working in just the right way.
I think Tuchel's been putting on Inside England before every single game.
Well, would we be English if we didn't dig them out all the way to the final? And then even if they win it, but that performance there.
Conceded a goal, so who's your winner, Matisse, from the game?
Oh, it's an easy choice, it's Bellingham. Like, there was so much talk about Bellingham coming into this tournament. Is he a starter? You know, people talk about the ego and the confidence. Is he good enough? Should he play 10? Should he play 8, etc.? The guy plays for Real Madrid. And he plays for Real Madrid for a reason. And I think, again, it's just another reminder of the level of player that we're dealing with. I don't think many nations would be contemplating or deliberating why he plays. Obviously, you know, Rodgers comes on, plays his part. People talk about, obviously, Eze, Gibbs-White, but this is Jude Bellingham. And he delivers in the moments. He relishes it. He stands 10 feet tall and he's like, oh, someone needs to get a winner, I'll do that. Someone needs to, you know, break the game, I'll do that. The box crashing ability, when he got back and cleared that ball, he made like a proper legendary centre-back interception, basically, to stop a goal. There's another moment in the second half, I believe, where he was surrounded by like 3 players and he just weaves his way out of it and carries the ball forward. I'm like, so what kind of blend of midfield are we dealing with here? We've got a box crasher, we've got a tackler, and we've got a dribbler and a ball carrier. Like, we've basically got a complete midfielder and you've got a goal scorer. Guy's ridiculous, man. He's so good, honestly.
You know what? There's a bit of content I think England put out where it was Bellingham and Morgan Rogers talking before the tournament, and they said to Rogers, they were like, "What's the best qualities that Bellingham has?" And he said he was like, in any game state, it'll give you what you need. If you need a goal scorer, he'll get in the box and score you a goal. If you need someone to just hold on to the ball, keep possession, he'll say, give me the ball. And then, as you say, there's just moments where it's like, Jesus, who's just put that slide tackle in? That's Bellingham. Like, it's honestly, like, he looks like a Marvel character, but like, he's like Superman. He just sticks a cape on and just does whatever the team needs him to do. And I think
modern day Gerrard.
100%. I think people misunderstand him for that reason. I think because he's a midfielder who doesn't actually stand in midfield, people don't really get what he is. But it's because he's everything.
He's old-fashioned. Like, back in the day, that's what people wanted. They wanted a midfielder that could literally do everything and be complete. Now midfield roles have become really, really like, not
you're
really
an 8,
specific.
You're a left 8.
You're a left 8.
Very niche.
You're a right pocket.
You've got to occupy this space.
You could play in a pivot, but you can't play 6 on your own.
Between the lines. He's everywhere.
He's like, I'm doing everything. He's like, no, that's too much. You can't do it. You're not allowed to do everything. Save some for the rest.
But that's why he was 22 as well at Birmingham, because he could play all of those positions, so they added up to get that number as well, which basically shows it.
Retired his shirt as well.
Also, I think that's such a good point about the moments as well. And I think it's so easy, isn't it, sometimes for us to sit here and go, oh, do we rely too much on Kane? Do we rely too much on Bellingham? So what if we do? Because they constantly turn up.
They're difference makers, they're match winners.
What does every other nation do?
Exactly.
Does Argentina rely on Messi too much?
Or France
Spain
with
rely
Mbappe and
on Yamal. Spain,
Yeah, that's probably why I said it on the show, and it's been panned once again. CJ, who are you going for in terms of your winner?
It's got to be Anthony Gordon, man. You know, from start to finish, I can't say Jude Bellingham isn't man of the match. He got 2 goals. You know, we're waxing lyrical about him, and I like the fact that he carries all the nonsense in his stride. But I think Anthony Gordon was absolutely superb, not just for the hand in the goals, but from start to finish, his defensive due diligence, his mentality. Even when we went down to 10 men, he was pressing relentlessly. That looked like the player that Barcelona have spent 78 million for. So I have to say Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pickford. Who I questioned
Big
on the
save.
last show.
Your man.
My man, Pickford. Look, to be fair, I think it wasn't unfair to look at the start of his tournament and the goal against DR Congo and say it's not quite the Jordan Pickford we're used to at tournaments so far, but we were waiting for that performance. He was everywhere. And in that last 15 minutes, I know I keep talking about it, he was punching everything. He was getting to everything. That's not even taking into account the saves he made. That tip over the bar from the header was absolutely outrageous. And as much as we did concede 2 goals, maybe he could have done better for the penalty. But yeah, seriously, I thought that was the Jordan Pickford that we've seen for England so often.
You know what I loved as well? Him just launching it.
Yeah.
So good.
When he wants to launch it, he will send it right to the other goal. He could maybe score a goal at the World Cup just doing that. Do you remember when we used to get a few of those? In the Prem?
Yeah.
Begovic, I think.
Yeah, and it creates the 3rd goal as well, and I think England used that long ball brilliantly. So yeah, Jordan, I'm sorry, mate. I love you in an England shirt. The other winner I want to mention, by the way, is Jordan Henderson. Just what an iconic performance from off the pitch. He got booked. He fell over the hoardings, broke his arm, I think. He had to go to hospital. I don't know if you saw his post-match interview where he just sat down and went, well, the Viagra worked, didn't it? It was brilliant. So,
that's why he's in the squad.
He's got to get a mention, hasn't
Honestly,
he? Yeah, and can still shake a pom-pom with one hand. So I'm sure it'd be absolutely fine. Just onto our losers. I think it's really difficult, and I've done it too much to call any of the players or anything.
You know who the biggest loser is? The altitude.
Yeah.
Because
all that hype,
altitude hype, everybody talking about it. I've
Just
seen
for Bellingham to rise the
journalists running up and down the road, out of breath.
They're the losers, mate. They're the losers.
You know what I mean? Huffing and puffing.
So cringy.
Got timing no runs and whatnot, and then the altitude doesn't even do its job.
Yeah,
England are through.
The journos, though, it's ridiculous, wasn't
Like,
it?
you're only going to Mexico, you're not going to Mars.
Bro, Mexicans be running outside.
Yeah.
Like, Mexicans are watching English people running up and down. Like
these
you
are
all right?
crazy.
You think you're in space or something?
Get off social media. Like I said, you're going to Mexico, you're not going to Mars. You're not going to go out there. Like, come on, man.
Some of them did like a 5K and they're like, I usually do 26 minutes. Actually did this one in 28. So, and then some of them were like, oh, I've gone for a walk out. Come on, man, what are you talking about? So,
get over yourselves, man.
so yeah. Any other losers for any of you, by the way?
I think Kwanzaa obviously getting the red cards. You know, it's unfortunate because when you watch it back, his foot does kind of hit the top of the ball and then just got. But the thing is, I think someone else made a challenge very similar later on. It might have been Kwanzaa. Keep your studs low and just really, once your studs go up and you don't know where you're going,
giving them a decision.
You're just giving them an opportunity to make a decision. It's a shame because we are a little bit lighter right back, but obviously Spence comes on as a great game as well. So yeah.
We'll get into that a little bit later when we look ahead to the game against Norway. But another loser I want to pick out is in Mexico right now and does this show, Flex, because we had a chat before the tournament about England's midfield and where it ranked in the tournament. Rory and I got a bit excited. We said that we thought England's ranked 2nd behind Portugal. Flex absolutely shot us down. Like, absolutely shot us down. He was saying Portugal's was better, Spain's was better. I think there's a debate there. Of course there is. He said France's was better. He said the Netherlands was better.
No.
They've gone home.
Took it too far there.
So where do you guys sit on this? Where do you think England's midfield rank?
England's 3rd. France is better, Spain's is better. They're more cohesive units. Of course, we could do the, names on paper thing, but we're 3rd. France and Spain definitely have better midfields than us. I don't know where Flex is going with Holland and things like that. That is a rogue shout, but yeah, France and Spain for me.
Do you know what it is? It depends on the occasion, right? Because if you do want to break a team down, we have worried about the low blocks and are we going to be incisive with our passing? Are we going to, break lines? Obviously, Anderson tries it a bit. But when it's a back and forth game and it's athleticism and it's all, all phases of the play, these guys are ridiculous. Like, they're closing down, like, the way they're just able to get about the pitch. They just don't give you a moment's peace. England are right up there for athleticism, and that's what he's obviously picked it based on.
Rice creates the first goal.
Yeah.
Anderson pretty much creates the second goal with that tackle.
Yeah.
And then Bellingham scores twice.
Honestly, the way Tuchel's using them, I'm saying first.
Really?
Nah, man, nah.
Same third.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
go on.
Tell me two better sixes than Rice and Anderson in terms of protecting the back four.
Rodri.
Yeah, just about. I don't know if post-injury Rodri is better than Rice.
Okay.
In terms of protecting the back four, in terms of counter-pressing like Elliot Anderson does for that, in terms of carrying from deep, give me two better ones than Anderson and Rice.
As a pivot, the French.
Also, by the way, if they're out there, why didn't Man City spend 160 million on one of them?
English tax.
And now you want to talk about Jude Bellingham as the 10, whatever you want to call him, attacking midfielder. Show me a better one.
Yeah.
Show me. We just sat here and spoke about
Elise.
Elise's an amazing player. He's an amazing player. He's probably the best kind of like creative 10 in this tournament. He's going to win the assist record.
Yeah.
We just spoke about
Goals.
Jude
Yeah.
giving you
Oh,
what you
yeah,
need.
yeah.
How many slide tackles is Elise giving us what we need?
If France and
way,
England played each other, you're not going to get the ball off the French. You're not going to get the ball.
We don't want the ball.
No matter how defensive you want to be, you have to go down the other end to score. You know that, innit?
Yeah.
And Bellingham
France
does it
have the
every
best
game.
balance of everything.
Bellingham does it every game. We've said
We're going to get humbled if we keep talking.
You know what it is?
This is what I love about England.
We're high off the win. Now we're the best team in the tournament.
Literally, we're going to get
Been in
humbled.
bed for 2 hours. Like, this is what I love about Tuchel is for years with England, we've gone to tournaments, we've tried to keep 60% of the ball, and we go sideways and backwards, and we're going, oh God, I wish we had a Perlo. Do you know what I mean? England need to move the ball faster. Whereas this team have just gone, we don't need to. Do you know what I mean? You have the ball if you want.
You're going to get humbled against the French and Spanish with that, man.
The one thing I say, this is why he left Foden and Palmer out, because they're not all phased midfielders. Foden and Palmer, they're not all phased midfielders. Like they're specifically there to do certain things, and they do those things very well. But when your backs are against the wall, we didn't need to make a sub. We made a sub because 10 men and whatnot. But really, if Rice is fully fit and he's not carrying injuries, Anderson, they can do 90 minutes, and it doesn't matter what the game state is. They're able to kind of.
And then you got Jude putting in the same kind of shift as we was talking about. He's involved in all phases. So we do have a good midfield. I just think Spain have better balance. I think France are better than us.
You're also better than Spain. England is better than Spain.
I don't get Spain. I don't know where Spain. What Marino?
Whoever they put out there.
Rodri.
Spain for years have been calling up players that on paper there's nothing to wax lyrical about. But when they're all together as a cohesive unit, I think they've got everything.
But I think we're developing that now. I think what you're seeing in this tournament is we're actually developing that. It's like the players are learning their roles. And like
100%.
Yesterday, the three midfielders literally gave you a moment each that shows you why they're in there. Like Rice gets the ball from the back, carries it 50 yards, drops it off to Saka, first goal. Second goal, Elliot Anderson, press, wins it, doesn't just win it, continues with the move, runs to the back post. That's the reason Bellingham's free for that. And then Bellingham gets the goals himself. Like, all three midfielders are showing you. They're the most expensive midfielders in the world.
Especially the pivot as well, because the whole qualifying, you've seen Rice and Anderson, and that's been a big talking point. Granted, we've even talked about it probably until the Mexico game, so I'll make you right.
I like your top three shout, though.
Yeah, it is top three.
Where would you have them, Matisse?
Portugal was highly rated coming in this. Vitinha, Neves, Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes just come off an incredible campaign with Man United.
Never got the hype
broke the
with
assist record. But the way they've...
shocking, well.
Yeah, they've not rose to the level. So I'd probably go top three.
Portugal's only better than us in midfield on paper. Like, we've all seen.
Exactly. I think
Lexus
physically we would bully them. So I probably put us third because I wanna keep the boys humble. Like, I don't want to gas us up too much because clearly it's working, right?
So who's ahead for you? Portugal and Spain? Is that who you'd pick?
Spain, France, surely.
No, France for sure. France.
Who'd you put in from France ahead of our three?
Kone and Rabiot.
Again, it's a collective
Sure,
thing.
man, if he's fit, definitely plays. Elise over Bellingham, I'm sorry.
If
you've been watching this tournament, Rabiot's not a better player than Rice or Anderson.
Individually, I think I understand where you're going with individually, but I think collectively, I still don't think we're top because I've watched games where our midfielders not been able to figure it out to really break down the low block, and that's the counter argument. Different situations, different scenarios, different midfielders. If you want a low block, you go Elise. You go France. If you want transitionals back and forth, you go England. So, yeah.
Just carrying this on then, guys, I want to ask all of you, I want to do a swap game. And we've already mentioned Elise and Bellingham, and then you've got Mbappe or Kane. So I'm going to offer up, Jacob, I'm going to offer you Mbappe or Elise. Do you swap them for Jude and Kane?
Wow, you're thinking about it.
This is taking you too long. You know the answer in your heart, man.
We're talking about the World Cup GOAT.
Yeah.
And the Playmaker Award.
Yeah, you do.
You do swap. You do swap.
I'm trying to stay high on England. I'm trying, and it's, do you know what? It's Jude. It's Jude that is really making me consider it, because I love Elise, but he's probably been my favourite player to watch at the tournament. But like Jude's just undeniable. But Mbappe's, you have to say yes to that. You have to say yes to that.
Yeah, Matisse, what you got?
You have to do the swap. We're talking about the World Cup GOAT. Like, this guy has played left wing, right wing, striker, 3 World Cups, and he's cleaned house in every single one. We talk about big game moments from Jude. That's literally what Mbappe's on. And then Elise, for me, is probably one of my probably my favourite player in the world right now.
Is it as close as kind of Jacob was? Jacob took about 15 minutes.
You have to respect Kane. You have to respect Kane and Bellingham. I mean, Kane's 72 goals this season, I heard. And then Bellingham is Bellingham, right? All phase, all action midfielder. So I think you have to pay them their respects. But I think the thing with Elise and Mbappe is, against low blocks, there's nothing missing from their game. You've got pace in behind, you've got trickery, you've got passing, you've got crossing, you've got long shots, you've got everything. And I feel like with Kane and Bellingham, I don't think the synergy between those two is as strong as Mbappe and Elise. Those two are on a wavelength. Yeah. Whereas these two are kind of like, they'll do their own thing and it will culminate in moments for everyone.
So you're having the French two over the English too, CJ? What
Easy, yeah. I'm taking the 2 from France over England. Like, we have to remove emotion. I think Tuchel would change it. Like, I love Jude Bellingham. We love what Harry Kane does for us. But I mean, come on, as Matisse just said there, it's killing Mbappe. We've seen this guy grow in the last 3 World Cups. We talk about clutch moments. He arguably had the best performance in a World Cup final in the last tournament. Obviously, he never won it. I'm having him. And like with everyone, Elise is probably the player of the tournament. And when Mbappe and Elise, they're always trying to find each other. Jude Bellingham and Kane are good. Them two are great. I'm doing it right to now. I'm taking a French duo.
Just to get back to being high off that performance, honestly, when that game finished last night, I started to think that is probably one of the best England performances I've ever seen. And I started to think, where would I rank it? You know, and let's be fair, lads. Jacob, what are you, like, nearly 40 now? How old? So
leave it out, man. 34.
But look, there's been so many iconic performances. Obviously, the boys in '66. But if we go off in our lifetimes, we're all roughly around 30-ish. Where do you think that ranks in terms of England performance? I'll start with you, Matisse.
I'm a 90s baby. So I'm not able to speak on 96 or any of these things. I'm 97, I was born. That performance, in terms of the jeopardy, the pressure that they're under, all of the kind of, you know, external factors that everyone's talking about, the 10 men factor of it as well, and just the cojones. Like, they dug deep, and it was a great game. Like, in terms of memories, I'm entertained. Even when Mexico was scoring, I was kind of smiling. I was like, yeah, bring. You know when they say put the rent up? Like, put the rent up. We can pay.
Stay humble, man. Stay humble. Like, we want to just coast through this whole tournament. Forget that.
Put the rent up. When the Mexicans kept getting back into the game, I was like, yo, come on, let's go again. I just thought we could just keep going and going and going. I was just loving it, man. Everybody, like, big names stepped up. Big moments, drama, jeopardy, even refereeing decisions. The game had everything. Henderson, even he's getting involved. You can't ask for any more than that in terms of a football match. And then obviously Azteca, Maradona, Pele, like, that's the stadium you want to do something like that. So yeah, man, I that's my best game ever.
Jacob, what about you? Some hazy memories of 2018 onwards. Any of the Southgate wins top that? Which is mad, by the way, given how far we got.
Honestly, it just
not
doesn't
in
look at the jeopardy on the line.
Like, I mean, like, maybe Germany in London, Euros, maybe. But I got to be honest, I think this was a steeper test last night. I think that was a much tougher, especially what the game threw at us with the penalty, red card, or like the fitness thing. And bear in mind, like, we're in an injury crisis. Do you know what I mean? Like, a right back, we've got problems. Declan Rice shouldn't be there. Saka can't run. Yeah. And to still deliver that, I can't think
11
of
minutes
better.
injury time.
I can't think of anything better. There was games outside of tournaments like the 5-1. You know, there's been some games against Spain where we've looked good, but like, when that's on the line, I don't think we've ever done that.
Yeah, I think being in the tournament swings it, because there will be people who say that 5-1 against Germany was one of the best performances of all time. But it was a qualifier.
Pressure's key to perform.
Yeah.
Doing it on a friendly or Nations League is different to doing it at World Cup. Like, it's just different.
That stadium, the team bus gets pelted with beer on the way in. Like everything was there to make it difficult, and we do it. it's the antithesis of what England's been for the last 8 years. We've needed good draws. We've needed a bit of luck. This is the opposite last night.
Yeah. CJ, you putting it top?
In my 31 years, this has to be. Like, we stepped into hellfire and we came out supreme, whether it was the subs, whether it was the starters, whether it was reacting to the jeopardy, whether it was the cards. I keep saying mentality. I genuinely think that a lot of people actually had Mexico as the favourites. Even Gerhey said it, if you're taking his words for gospel. My 31 years, I've not seen a performance like that. I will never forget it, depending on how the tournament goes. It's the best performance I've seen from an England lads, and they've gone down in history. Let's hope we make more, though.
Yeah, it's the belief and the attitude.
Exactly.
Just so proud of them, to be honest. More than
Exactly.
anything. Right, when we look at that game against Norway, then I just want to get your starting 11s, because obviously there's a few elements that probably need looking at. Jacob, we'll start with you. Obviously, there's the issue with right back, with Quansah getting sent off. We're still waiting on the fitness of Reece James. So let's imagine that Reece James is fit to play. How would you line up against Norway?
I'd start Stones at centre back. I'd be like, I don't want to dig anyone out after what we've just all agreed is the best England performance we've seen. But like the last 5 minutes or so of the first half, Ezri Konsa's head was just on the moon. I think he's at fault for the goal. I think there's maybe 3 chances Mexico have after that where he either loses his man, doesn't win a header, he's in the wrong spot. And honestly, I'm saying to everyone, I'm like, you've got to get him off before half time. You're not going to get through this extra time without conceding a goal the way he is. After the second half, we look a bit better. Red card happens. He moves to right back. And mate, honestly, I'm like problem solved. That's the best.
Two different players.
Mate, it's unbelievable. So I know you're saying Reece James would be fit, but like, what's fit? Do you know what I mean? How fit is he? Like, he's fresh off a hamstring, straight pushed back in. It's not been 3 weeks since that injury come up. Like, I'd put Quansah at right back. I'd Stones at centre back. Gordon has to keep his place at left wing.
Yeah.
And the difficult thing at right wing is like, you're not going to get more than 60 minutes out of Saka. So it's how you want to do it. It's do you set yourself up and go, you know what, there's a good chance of extra time here. I'm starting with Noni, ending with Saka.
Would you start with Noni because of that?
Look at Saka's assist rate. You have to go with him.
Mate, 3 assists in 140 minutes.
Exactly.
Such a good cross.
Something like every 6
on his
minutes
weaker foot as well.
This is my Arsenal head on. I'm like, please just send him home. You're breaking him. With my England head on, I'm like, you have to start him.
Because this is when Tuchel's starting to gamble. There's no coincidence. This is our biggest game of the World Cup with everything we've talked about in Mexico's backyard. And Saka, fit or not, has started ahead of Madueke. Now, credit to Noni. I actually think he's done well. But you've got, like, we're going out. You have to play your best players. If anything, these guys can come off the bench and change the game. The problem is, though, if you do start a half-fit Saka and you do start a half-fit Reece James, Norway might smell blood there. So I'm happy I'm not too cool, if I'm honest. But I'm starting Bukayo.
Yeah. Are you going with Quansah right back too then, and Stones coming in?
I'm being converted. I would, because I do think Quansah, he had a tough first half. I think he stood up tall in the second half. I do think Stones, we criticised his last England appearance. I'm making right. I'm going with that, if I'm honest with you. A part of me wants to start Reece James, but as he just said, what is fit? Like, if you can give him some painkilling injections and he's 90% fit, let's run that for an hour or so and see where it goes. But yeah, I'm of the belief, you know what, bring Stones in, put Quansah at right back. Stones gives us a lot in terms of progressing the ball forward. That's how you can have Rice and Elliot Anderson further forward and maybe Bellingham, and that's how we go through it.
He's looked a bit rusty, Reece James, as well.
He has.
He's
not having a good
great
tournament at all.
performances. As a Chelsea fan, I'm probably same as you. I'd want him to go home, like, genuinely, at this point, because it's just, I know what Reece James can do from a fitness standpoint, and it really is just sporadically putting him in when he needs to be, and that's it. Like, you can't overdo it with him. I think, is there a shout for a Dan Burn versus Haaland? No. I mean, he's got the height. He's got the height. Well, that's that great header against Gabriel. I'm thinking, maybe Dan Burn needs to be involved. But obviously, he hasn't got the pace. That's the problem. He hasn't got the pace.
Well, it would be his club team, John Stones, obviously coming up against him if Tuchel does go, and you can see it happening, can't you?
Yeah.
Stones coming in
absolutely.
and
Mark Gay, obviously,
moving to the right,
well,
and now we've buried Reece James and be man of the match and stuff like that. Yeah, but how are we feeling about Norway as the next opponents?
It's just Haaland. Deal with him, and you've dealt with Norway.
And you've done half the job.
Odegaard played well, to be fair, against Brazil, I thought.
Yeah, but they're a good team. They play well, but Haaland's different.
I worried about the Mexico game more than I'd worry about Norway because of all the external factors, but it is Haaland. And the way we're defending, even if it is just for 30 minutes where we're having brain farts with, Quansah, etc., Haaland is ruthless right now. He is just banging in everything. They took one step off him, and he said, all right, cool, I'm going to have a 20-yard tap in. I'm just going to drill it into the corner. You can't give that guy any room you have to be onto him all 90. He didn't even touch the ball for 80 minutes.
What
And then he bang.
what did Matisse just say there? That's the difference. Like naturally, the neutral football fan would have heard Brazil versus Norway. Oh, Brazil is a giant killing. Anyone that's been watching the World Cup, Norway are a very well coached side. They're a much better side than Brazil. Brazil, it sounds crazy to say, they're terrible. Brazil are terrible.
Would you have rather played Brazil?
100%. Why would you not want to play Brazil?
Yeah,
They're horrible on the ball. They're horrible off it. Look at the gaps.
Look at the midfield.
Take nothing
Yeah.
away from
Athleticism, oh my
exactly.
gosh.
You saw it. You've got a
destroyed the midfield.
70-year-old Casemiro.
Yeah.
You've got Bruno Guimaraes, who you know as a Newcastle fan, as much as I rate him, he doesn't have legs. They would have been food for us. Norway are a better cohesive unit. They do have some players beyond Haaland that has individual quality. They don't necessarily take their chances. Like, I'm an Arsenal fan. Odegaard's kind of been peeing around, if I'm honest with you.
Oscar Bob was good.
Oscar Bob's good, but very well good coached off the ball. We've got Norway's number, if I'm honest. It's just that man Haaland. And again, we're going to have to double up on him. Put Rice in a slightly deeper role, we're through.
Yeah. This is the game that Tuchel built us for.
Exactly.
This is what we're built for. Like as much as we don't think of Norway as being like a top team that you're going to find in a knockout game, they're going to keep the ball. They kept the ball against Brazil. They're going to keep it against us. There's this one thing you say about Ødegaard. Yeah, he's not the 15 goal a season midfielder.
Ball retention and whatnot.
But he's going to keep the ball.
Yeah.
So we're not going to have the ball. My fear with this whole plan of Tuchel's of like we're going to be an off the ball team, I just don't trust that defence. When you were talking about Dan Burn a second ago, I was like, you could, because there's no one in that back line who can put their hand up and say, I'm keeping my spot. No one has looked that good.
Fatigue problems.
We give away goals against Congo. We give away 2 goals against Mexico. I'm not being disrespectful. Mexico striker plays for Wolves. You're up against Erling Haaland. Honestly, how many goals
chasing
are you
a golden boot?
So the thing with us is, like, let's be honest, we're going to concede 2 goals. We are. We've
got a bank on Haaland.
We're going to concede
scoring.
2 goals.
Yeah.
We're going to have 30% of the ball. Are we going to score 3 goals? That's the question. We're 30% of the ball. Are we going to
Set
score 3
pieces.
goals? Is it set pieces? Is it Bellingham running off Kane? Is it Kane taking 2 chances? We're going to have to score 3 goals in this game.
Do you have faith, though, that we would score 3 goals, given what you saw last night?
It depends, because given
Depends
what I
on
saw
how we
last
do it.
night with Kane and Jude, I believe in that. If we go back to what we saw kind of against Panama, kind of against Ghana, which is that we just shuttle it to the
Even
wide
Panama
players.
had chances.
This
If
is
they'd
what
had
I'm
more
saying.
quality.
Everyone has run through us. But if the way we're going to try and score goals is just shuttling it wide and hoping the wingers do something,
We're in trouble. Should we be conceding possession against Norway, though? Seriously, I'm not trying to be snooty.
we can't
Seriously.
keep the ball as
No,
well
we
as
should be able to, of course, 100%. But this is a game we should be able to impose ourselves. There was elements to that against Mexico. I'm not saying we're going to be playing tiki-taka, but I don't agree with this rhetoric of sitting back. Of course, the further you go up the pitch, you're going to open some jeopardy for Haaland to get in. But I think we need to put that defence under pressure. I'm not being funny. Can anyone name one of the Norway defenders? You can't. They've got Haaland granted. We've got Harry Kane. It's going to cause
Christopher
problems.
Ayer plays for Brentford.
Big him up. Big him up. See you on Match of the Day next season.
If we're going to try and keep the ball, he's going to have to switch that midfield up.
Yeah.
And
he's not going to bring
not gonna
Maino.
do that.
You can't.
Yeah, he's not
Kobe
gonna bring
Mainoo's
Maino.
not really featuring.
And this is what I'm saying though. This is our blueprint. This is how
Riley
we want to
should
do
invert.
it. We're saying we're an off the ball team. We're saying fine. The reason we got, in my opinion, one of the best midfielders in the world is because they're not players who keep the ball. They're players who do things without the ball. The problem is, if you're going to do that, and by the way, we're Arsenal fans. We watched Arsenal do this at times last season. You have to rely on your back line. You have to
Exactly,
rely on
yeah.
your keeper. And this is where, as an Arsenal fan, I'm used to saying, yeah, we've got the best 2 centre
We got
backs in Europe.
Saliba, we got Raya, we got this one, got that one.
Mate, I'm not seeing that for England. And
Pickford's
that's
the only one you believe in.
problem. That's the whole problem with this whole tactic. Is fair enough. The midfield is set for it. The attack is set for it. I'm sorry. I don't believe in the defence.
Yeah,
I just don't believe in him.
To be fair, though, and I know it was a different situation because they were down to 10 men, but we did also praise at the top of the show Tuchel's in-game management and switching to that back three. Do you know? So do they have the tools anyway, Matisse? Even if it does all look a bit shaky and we've conceded 2 goals to shore that up.
Do you know what? Defensively, they actually went up in my estimations yesterday because they had every reason to go and concede that equaliser. The 10 men, the amount of time they had to defend in that box. Mexico's just willingness to constantly keep putting us under pressure, and they actually withstood it. So I think with England's defence, it's knee-jerk. I think they're going to have patches in games where they're diabolical, and they're going to have patches in games where they're looking like they can actually handle business. I agree with you. I don't trust them, that's for sure. But I'm hoping with Haaland, he's going to score. Just accept that he's going to score. But we have more options than they do in our attack in terms of variety for goals. You just have to outscore them. It's literally he's going to score. You're not going to keep a clean sheet against Haaland.
To be fair, I've sat here and I've just been critical of that defence. And I think, again, against Congo, against Panama, they ran through. The goals we conceded last night was a penalty and a set piece where we don't clear our lines. Apart from that, I can't think of big chances.
Couple saves from
Couple
Pickford,
saves
but
from
other than
Couple
that,
saves,
it
but it's
weren't-
like, it's headers that
we weren't
come
under
in.
the cosh at all.
It's not big chances. It's not players running through one-on-one as it kind of was in other games. Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's because we're not as open.
Should have conceded a
and
penalty
this,
against
but this is
Ghana
what I'm
as well.
saying. Though,
It's a trade-off, isn't it?
We're actually doing what Tuchel wants us to do, and it's like actually when we do this, when we don't try and be the protagonist in a game, when we do give up possession, it's like kind of more secure. So I don't know. Maybe last night is us showing that like if this is how we go, you know, give up the ball, get a 5 at the back from 70 minutes onwards. Maybe this is how we do it.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's going to be entertaining, isn't it? It is on Saturday at 10 p.m. live on talkSPORT. Right, we're going back to bed. That's it for this edition of Inside England, sponsored by BetMGM. Download the app or visit betmgm.co.uk. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Please gamble responsibly. We will see you on Monday morning following the Norway game. See you then.